Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's time for my 7-week pregnancy update. And at this point, I'm just tired. I'm pretty sure I started off my 6-week update the same way, but I just want to be in bed. I'm just tired, all the time. Oh, yawns on cue. As you've noticed, I'm sure, I haven't been posting on my YouTube channel very regularly. At this point, I think I'm putting up one video a week and it's my pregnancy update videos. I just can't function. I just want sleep. So we'll go ahead and get started with all of this. In the beginning of my 7 weeks, I started having some more cramping. It has since stopped, only lasted a few days. But I think that I'm having so much cramping with this pregnancy because I had a C-section with my last pregnancy. To have my son, I had to have a C-section. And so I think that as my uterus is growing, I think that C-section scar is stretching, and I think that's what's causing the cramping. I could be completely wrong on this. But I don't really remember having any cramping when I was pregnant with my son. I know I compare a lot. I do a lot of comparisons here in these videos between my last pregnancy and this pregnancy, but I really think what's going on is that the C-section scar is stretching and it's causing cramping. That's just my guess. I could be wrong. So I did have more nausea for a while. On Saturday I was just nauseous almost all day long. It was rough. But I really haven't had that much nausea in this whole pregnancy. I had a little bit more for week 7 than I have the whole rest of the pregnancy. We're not that far along, but I'm in week 8 now, and it's really just kind of died down. There's not a whole lot going on at this point. And for week 7, I had more nausea than any of the earlier weeks, but not a ton. I don't know, it lasts a little longer. I had it more frequently. I really thought I was settling into having more nausea, but to be honest with you, now that I'm in week 8, not a whole lot going on. So in week 7, I did start noticing a stronger sense of smell. Conveniently enough for me, I had to keep getting on my husband about changing the trash can. The trash can, the litter boxes, my son's diaper pail, they just get to me. The smell of the laundry gets to me. Not too bad, I can still do the laundry, but the smell of the garbage, it makes me want to gag. And so I'm constantly on my husband about can you change this? I want to barf. Because that does get to me. I'm not really having a whole lot of nausea, but when I get certain smells, that really starts to bug me and makes me start thinking about throwing up. We have a cattail going that way. And then my back porch where I feed my pets, I've got dog food and cat food back there. During week 7, the smell of the cat and the dog food was getting to me. This week, in week 8, it's not so much. I'm not really noticing it. I smell it, but it's not really bothering me. But in week 7, it was rough. I was struggling. Anytime I had to go back on the back porch and feed my pets, the smell of their food was getting to me. So, still being able to sleep on my stomach. During week 7, yep, didn't have any issues. Week 8, we'll talk about that next week. But, somebody's fighting. Do you guys hear that? It's somebody outside yelling. My neighbors are crazy. They get drunk and then they go outside and scream at each other. Anyway, if you guys hear that, you'll know what's going on. So, yeah, during week 7, I was still able to sleep on my stomach. I've really been shocked by this pregnancy with how long I've been able to sleep on my stomach, because with my son pretty early on, I had to start sleeping on my back, on my side, or propped up. And with my first pregnancy, I didn't get a maternity pillow until well into my 2nd trimester, which I can leave a link to a review of the maternity pillow that I bought down below. I loved it. I can show you guys how to use it. Probably one of my most viewed videos on YouTube. But I love that pillow. I'll be using it again. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll link it down below. Currently my cousin's using it, and I'm trying to let her use it for as long as possible because she's due in January. That's 3 more months. I don't know if I can go 3 months without the maternity pillow, but I'm going to try to go as long as I possibly can. And as is right now, I don't need it, so she's more than welcome to continue to use it. But again, I'll link that review down below. It's from Walmart. It's $50. pretty good price, great pillow. Anyways, yeah, I'm still able to sleep on my stomach, which is fantastic. However, I do get up to go to the bathroom a lot at night. And I've talked about this in other videos if you've been following me for a while. But after having my son, like I've never really had any bladder incontinence issues, but I did have issues with my bowels. Like I wasn't shitting my pants, but anytime I had to go to the bathroom, like I had to go to the bathroom. There was no time to wait. Like it really felt like IBM syndrome. I never got tested for it, but like it runs in my family, and I was having a lot of the symptoms for it. I was also having a lot of issues with needing to go to the bathroom, especially at night. Like I don't think from the time I was pregnant with my son for like nearly 3 years almost, until just this past spring, this past March when I started swimming. I didn't get a full night's sleep where I didn't have to get out of the bed and go to the bathroom. Like at least once, if not twice to 3 times a night, I'd have to get up and go to the bathroom. And then in March of this year, of 2018, I started swimming, and it really tightened my abdominal muscles and like my bladder and all of that stuff. And suddenly, like within a month or so of swimming, like I could sleep all night long, and it was like magic, because I'd gone 3 years where I had to get up at least once a night to go to the bathroom. And I feel like I've completely reverted. Like I've probably had a good 5 to 6 months of being able to just sleep all night without having to go to the bathroom. But now I have to go to the bathroom like at least once a night, if not 2 to 3 times. Well, I don't think I've gone 3 times in a night. I've gone at least twice at this point. Typically at least once. And I just feel like it's completely like reverted, and I feel like such a loss. Like everything I gained from going to the gym, and I'm like, no, back to square one. But like my bladder doesn't have all the room in there that it used to have, you know, like even if the muscles are still stronger, which I'm still not having any incontinence issues, thankfully. Like my bladder doesn't have as much room as things are growing, and so it's just to be expected. But it's kind of like, no, I was sleeping all night. But honestly, like I just kind of feel like your body prepares you for the baby, and babies do not let you sleep all night. And if you just get up, if you just get used to having to get up to go pee during the night 3 to 4 times a night, like you're already kind of ready when the baby comes, because like you're already used to getting up and having broken sleep. Like you kind of get used to it. So it sucks, but on the other hand, like I feel like it's just preparing me to have a newborn and to be ready for broken sleep and to have to get up. I mean, I'll be up a lot longer than it takes me to go pee once the baby gets here, but you know, when you're already used to getting up several times a night, you know, I think it just kind of, your body prepares you. I've been thirsty a lot, and I feel like I talked about this in week 6, but like I'm thirsty all the time. And I've tried like cutting back on how much I'm drinking before bed, like try like an hour or 2 before bedtime to like not drink a bunch of water. But like I feel like I'm parched, like I'm so thirsty. So like I still end up getting a drink before bed. And a lot of times when I wake up to go pee in the middle of the night, like I go get another drink of water, because like I'm just thirsty all the time, like all the time thirsty. Here's another one that I'm finding interesting, is that I'm not having any bloating with this pregnancy. Like not that I've noticed, like I haven't been bloated at all. Like I remember being uncomfortably bloated with my son. Like I just felt like kind of like PMS-y like all the time with my son. Like I just felt bloated, like I should be getting my period, but I'm not because I'm pregnant. And with this one, I don't feel like that. I'm also not having the constipation issues that I had with my son. Way TMI. But like I'm quite regular, which is good. I'm far more comfortable with this pregnancy than I was with the last one. I did not think I could have an easier pregnancy than what I had with my son, because it was a pretty easy pregnancy. However, this one is proving the rule, because I don't even feel pregnant half the time, and it's quite fantastic. Not trying to brag, but it's pretty great. Okay, another one that I have found interesting is that I only had 2 crazy vivid dreams. Like I really expected to have some nutty dreams like I had last time. Like I have talked about this before, how I wanted to do like a crazy pregnancy dream compilation video, and I've only had 2 crazy dreams. With my son, like I really wish I would have done that, because I had some out there crazy dreams with him, and with this one, like I've had 2. I mean, we still got time, we'll see, but with my son, like I had them all through the first trimester, a little bit of the second, and then they kind of stopped. And with this one, that's not happening. Like every pregnancy is different, and I totally understand that. but I was like fully expecting some wild dreams, and they're not happening. Okay, so on Friday, you guys won't be seeing this till Friday, but like last Friday, at the end of my 7 weeks, I had my very first doctor's appointment. And surprisingly, they said, at least the nurse that I talked to, I didn't actually see my real doctor. That'll be my next visit. I'll have my ultrasound, my first ultrasound, and I'll see the doctor. But with this visit, I just met with the nurse, which I expected everything to go like it did the last time, and for the most part it did, going over medical history. They give you like a folder full of like things you can and can't do, along with medications you can and cannot have. Nothing too exciting really going on in there. Also talks about like Lamaze classes and touring the hospital. I didn't do any of that with my son, and I don't plan on doing it with this one. I don't know. I mean, I have to have a C-section with this one. With my son, I tried to have a natural birth, and things went wrong, and I had to have a C-section. And in my city, just based on city ordinances, if you have one C-section, all births after that have to be through C-section. So it's like not even an option this go around. But yeah, I never did Lamaze classes. I never toured the hospital or anything like that. But that's what that packet of information is. It's just, you know, about birth and babies, Lamaze classes. I just told you all that, whatever. The other thing that I found interesting was that, did I tell you guys, they said that they're booking me at being 9 weeks pregnant as of last week. So it would make me 10 weeks this week. Which I don't buy that, because they're wanting to go off my last menstrual cycle. And if you went off my last menstrual cycle, that's probably correct. However, when I had my blood work done, that came back saying I was between 2 to 4 weeks. And I went ahead and went with the 4-week mark because I was already having symptoms of pregnancy. So that would put me at being 7 weeks last week, which is what this video is for. Technically 8 weeks this week. I'm getting confusing. So the hospital has me down as being 2 weeks ahead of what I actually think that I am. And I was really surprised that even though after I told the nurse, I said, well, like, my blood work said I was 2 to 4 weeks a few weeks ago, so like I'd be 7 weeks now. Like, she still wanted to mark me down as 9 weeks. And I'm like, but like my chart and my blood work should like tell you all of this. So I don't know. I don't know. Again, like everything as far as like how far along you are is all kind of up in the air until you have your first ultrasound and they can measure the growth of the baby. Babies all kind of stay on track up until a certain point, and then they start to like vary in their growth. But until like they want to guess you at being about 12 weeks when you have your first ultrasound. You might be a little further along, you might be a little bit behind, but you won't really find that out until then. So everything's just kind of like a guesswork. So my doctor has me down as 9 weeks. I think I'm closer to the 7-week mark just based off my blood work. So we're just going to keep going on that. Okay, so another interesting thing that happened when I went to the doctor was that they went ahead and had me do the glucose test, which with my son was something that you didn't take until like 28 weeks. And I've talked to other moms, and they've all said that, you know, like they're pregnant right now. Like my cousin, I've got 2 of them that are pregnant right now. They're further along than I am. And they both said like, oh, we didn't take it until 28 weeks. And I thought, you know, at first when she first told me I had to take the glucose test, like I was like, you know, I'm here for my first appointment, right? Like I'm only like 7 weeks, you know that, right? Like I'm still in my first trimester, you know that, right? And she goes, yeah, this is just something we're having everybody do now because some people are developing it earlier in their pregnancy and we're not catching it until later. Which I guess makes sense, but it must be something they like just started doing, because like I said, I've talked to other moms who are currently pregnant and none of them had to take it this early on. And my nurse said that based on my results of my early glucose test will determine if I have to take it again at the 28-week mark or not. So we'll see how that all works out. I'm assuming that I passed it because I had the test on last Friday. It is now Wednesday, so I would assume that if I failed it or there was an issue, I would have gotten a phone call, and I haven't been contacted. So I'm assuming I'm good to go. So just to wrap things up a little bit, I just wanted to tell you a little something kind of funny that happened at my last doctor's appointment. Well, my only doctor's appointment so far. So I had to go in and give a urine sample. That's totally normal. But I had my toddler with me. He's 2. And they had a chair in the bathroom. So I just set him on the chair while I went to give my urine sample. And while I was peeing, my 2-year-old sat in the chair and said, go, 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 go. Like he chanted and cheered me on while I peed. And it was awkward. I'm sorry. This guy is trying to rub his face all over my tripod. It may have been shaking a minute ago. I'm not really sure. This is Banjo, by the way. He hasn't been in a video for a while. Say hi, I'm Banjo. Ass cat, ass cat, ass cat, ass cat, ass cat. Yeah. We used to call him Ass Cat because when he was younger, he was kind of assy. As he's gotten older, he's mellowed out, but he was kind of an asshole when he was younger. So yeah, he did that, and then I had to take my glucose test, and they give you like a drink. At my doctor's office, you have the choice between like an orange drink or a Kool-Aid flavored drink. With my last pregnancy, I did the orange drink because my doctor said that it tastes better. So I did that one. And then for this pregnancy, I wasn't really given an option. The nurse just handed me the orange drink, so I don't know if they were out of the Kool-Aid one or only had the orange flavor, or she just like didn't think to ask. I don't really know. But when the orange drink is super cold, like it's not that bad. Like it gives me a brain freeze because it's that cold. It's like icy cold. It's not quite slushy yet, but like another degrees or two down and it could easily be a slushy. They don't taste bad. They're super sugary and sweet. I know some people say they get sick by them. I've never had that problem. I just get a brain freeze. But my son had his sippy cup with him, and you have like 5 minutes to drink the drink in, and so it's like, in my opinion, it's just better to knock it back as fast as you can. And so I kept like, drinking it, and he would say, like, anytime I take a second to stop drinking it, he'd say, go, 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 go. And I'd take a drink, and then he would take a drink, and I'm like, oh my God, you're turning into a frat boy. Where is this coming from? It was hilarious. It was so funny. I was cracking up. The nurse was cracking up. I swear I was like having a drinking game with my 2-year-old. I don't know where he learned that from because we don't drink. We don't watch drinking things on TV. We do tease him every now and then, especially when he was younger and he'd be drinking a bottle and like chugging it. Like we would chant and we'd be like chug, 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 chug. So maybe he's remembering that from when he was really little. I didn't think that was something that would stick with him. But yeah, that happened and it was pretty funny. So that is everything for my 7-week pregnancy update. I'll go ahead and show you my belly. Not that there's a whole lot to look at. Okay guys, so this is what my belly is looking like. I am wearing my maternity pants just because they are so dang comfortable. I mean, they literally go up to like my boobs right now. Like I don't need them. But they are so comfortable. So this is what I'm looking like. Nothing going on, nothing to see there. Just a little flubber left over from the last baby. No changes yet. Okay guys, so that wraps up this video. I really hope you did enjoy. I'll be piling all these videos into like a, what do you call them? A playlist, so they'll be linked below. If you missed any of my earlier pregnancy videos, you can go check those out. Otherwise, I hope you guys decide to hit, sorry, I'm like getting the burps. Sorry. And I'm getting breathy. That's something I'm noticing. I need to put that down for my 8 weeks. I'm also, I had a chest infection a couple weeks ago and I haven't fully recovered my lung capacity from that. So I think that's kind of why I'm like all the time, like wheezing. Anyway, make sure you hit the subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy. I really hope to see you in my next video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.